Morning. You coming out? Hi. You coming out?
Is that what he wants?
Hey.
She is. Yeah. Can you see her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got her head up.
What was her name?
This is Tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah. Are you gonna have your one?
Tiger.
Showing her big teeth. Come on then.
Tiger.
Did he give you food?
We've got to have a stretch. Wake up, have a stretch.
As soon as I said
Yeah.
food, she's like, what?
Come on.
You got company.
So Tiger is a very noisy tiger. So she might, if you can hear her grumbling in there, she's having a stretch and a yawn. Come on. Good girl.
Hello.
Hi.
Wow.
Hi.
Hello.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is Tiger. So seeing Tiger up close, she's quite big, isn't she?
Mm.
So tigers are the biggest cat on the planet.
She's supposed to be 8.
She is 8, yeah. And the Amur tiger is the biggest cat of them all. So they don't get any bigger than an Amur tiger. Now Tiger here, she is big, but because she's a female, so she's a girl, she's still not as big as what the boys get. Alright. So when we had our male Igor, can you see where the tunnel sort of lowers down? So his head was almost in line with that. So he was a very big boy. Hey, you're not going that way?
Hey,
Huh?
It's worth a try though, isn't it?
away.
So you can see her very stripy coat that she's got. Now, do you know what's special about our fingerprints? Have you learnt that yet at school? No? So your fingerprints are unique to you. So nobody has the same fingerprints as you. Yeah? So it's the same with the tigers. The tiger stripes are unique to the tiger. So there's no other tiger with exactly the same pattern as Tiger here. So when it comes to identifying tigers in the wild, the researchers take photographs of the tigers because then they know if it's the same cat in that area or if it's a different cat that's moved in. So that's one way that we can tell them apart. So Tiger and Tatana are mum and daughter, and they look very, very similar. The only difference is if Tiger turns around, she's not probably going to do that straight away, but on her feet she's got some stripes, and on Tatana, her daughter, she has spots. So she doesn't have stripes, she has spots. So that's one way you can tell them apart. Now when it comes to feeding our tigers, what do you think they like to eat?
Me?
Meat. What type of meat? Do you have a guess?
Beef, I guess.
So they will eat beef when we have it. The main food that we feed our tigers is horse meat. So horse is very lean, it's very good for them, it's very healthy. We also feed them chicken. They love chicken. She's heard the word now, so she's coming back.
She's like, did you say chicken?
Licking her lips.
So we feed them chicken. She also gets rabbit, and Tiger here quite likes fish as well. Alright. So in the wild it'll be slightly different. So they'll eat a lot of deer, and they'll eat wild boars, they eat wild pigs as well. So they're the main two. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to give Tiger some food. You feeling brave? Yeah. So if I just grab this little pot here,
She sees it.
she has seen
She
it.
knows the routine.
So
She knows.
with the tongs, Chloe, can you see there's a sort of a rigid here and here? So just make sure you've got a thumb and a finger on them. All right. So don't hold them too high up. And then when you pick up a piece of meat, it's only the piece of meat that
She
needs
sees
to go
it.
through. So it's only that small part of the tongs.
Don't
that go
eat
through.
that.
You ready?
She's like, get on with it.
Please. Yum.
Oh
no.
Right. You run up a piece. So if you feed over here, Chloe, so you get a square on to you.
Oh, that through the fence.
Yeah.
So all of that is for her. So do you want to have a guess at how big her paws are?
No.
Do you want to have a see? So with that piece of meat, if you just stand on the yellow line for me. You stand on the line, and then if you put it up here,
Whoa.
okay, you can see how paws are.
Oh my god.
And
You want to eat it?
if-
Put it.
Give,
There you
give.
go.
Can you see her claws?
Yeah.
They've got really
Oh my
sharp
gosh.
claws.
Thank you.
So she's very gentle. She's well practiced in doing this.
She's growling a lot.
It's just her excited for food.
Oh.
So all this meat in this little pot is only a small amount of food that we give them. So we give them food anywhere between 5 to 6 days a week. Some days we only give them 4 feeds a week. So we don't feed our tigers every day. Do you think that's quite mean?
If we didn't feed you every day, what would you be like?
And I just wouldn't react.
I
I
think you'd be
think you
very
might.
hungry. Got it?
What meat is that again?
So this is horse meat.
Horse meat.
Tiger,
Yeah, yum,
you're being lazy.
yum. You get the food about.
So the reason we give them fast days is because in the wild they wouldn't feed every day. So some days they have no food at all. Whether that's because they don't catch their food or if they're a bit full from the food they've eaten the day before. Right. So if you put the tongs in there, now that's all gone. And then if all you need to do for me is if you just hold your hands up like this, it's all gone.
All gone.
And that's the signal to her that there's no more food. Yes, you've
She's
eaten
like,
it all.
she's like, seriously?
What's a snack?
You've got your main dinner later on. Yes. So she's very, very noisy.
Does anyone actually ever go in?
No, so we're completely hands off with them. Although they're all, well, both of our tigers are captive born, the instinct for them to hunt is still there. So being an open topped enclosure, if anything flies in, generally it doesn't fly out again. They'll catch it, and that'll be ducks, that can be, you know, seagulls, pigeons, pheasant.
She's
Anything.
coming back.
She's coming back. You just stand this side for me.
That's it.
There you go.
Hey.
Oh,
Beautiful, isn't she?
So she's a very pretty tiger, this tiger. Now with the stripes, like I said, they are unique. But if you're feeling brave and you shave a tiger, not that I'd suggest it, if you shave the fur off,
the stripes are still on you there.
the stripes are on the skin, yeah. So they're on their skin as well. Now do you know why tigers have stripes?
Camel.
For camouflage, yeah. So the stripes help to break up the outline of the tiger. So when they're stood in front of a bush, you can't see where the head and the bum is. Alright. But they're bright orange, aren't they? Yeah. Now with Amur tigers or Siberian tigers, like Tiger here, they have more white in their fur and the orange is very pale. Now that's just a reflection of where you find them in the wild, coming from sort of snowy environments where it's a bit cooler. Being slightly paler makes it easier for them to blend into their surroundings. But to us, they still stand out quite obviously, don't they? Now, to their prey, can you remember what I said tigers like to eat in the wild? Wild pigs and deer. Now, the pigs and the deer, they don't see colour like you and I. They see in what's called grayscale, which means they see in black and white. Now, if you were to take a photograph of a tiger in front of a green background, just like if they stood in front of the bushes out there in the paddock, and then change it to black and white, you'll be very surprised at how similar orange and green is when you change it to black. So to their prey, they blend in completely. They disappear into the back. Now, do you think she's fast at running? How fast do you think?
I don't know.
You don't know.
I
So
think
they're
we
pretty
did
quick.
we did that. I think that where you've got stand on the spot and run, and it clocks your time and compares you to an animal, doesn't it? I don't
So they
think we
can
were
run at
anywhere near.
30 miles an hour.
Wow.
So they can run pretty quick. And then the reason they run pretty quick is because they have to be slightly fast to be able to grab their food. Now they're quite heavily bodied. They're not as slim and athletic as a cheetah. So they're quite stocky, which means that they don't run for very long. So they can only run 30 miles an hour for about 40 seconds before they run out of steam and they have to stop. So they have to make sure that they're as close to their prey as they can be in order to be able to grab hold of it. Now, did you see her claws when she was holding onto the fence? So they've got these little claws, they work like hooks, so it makes it difficult for their food to get away. And then once they've caught their food, obviously they can then grab hold of it and start to eat it. Now with our tigers, as I say, we don't always feed them small chunks of meat like this. We make it a bit more difficult for them because we like to keep our tigers fit and healthy. So
Do you like throw it in the cage?
So we don't throw it, so we'll lock our tigers away so they're nice and safe, and it's safe for us to go out there, and then we can go out. So if you look at this feed post, can you see there's a shackle halfway up, and then we've got one at the top. So what we do with that is we'll attach their food to it, so they have to stretch and they have to pull, and it works all the muscles along their neck, shoulders and back to be able to get their food down. We've also got a zip line which we put up across the pool here, and then we put their food on the zip line so it's in the water, so they have to go in the water to get their food.
Cool.
Tigers aren't afraid of water, so with that in mind we also sometimes tie their food to
I've
logs.
seen